Ansari, your voice is not audible. No, it's not audible. Please check your mic again.
Hello, guys,
Yes.
am I audible?
Now it's okay. Now it's audible.
Okay. Okay, guys, let's start. So let me recap things what we did yesterday. So yesterday we have seen something called introduction to Flutter. What is Flutter? Why do we need Flutter? Where do we use Flutter? How is it advantageous? We have done some comparison with React Native, one of the biggest competitor of Flutter, and also we have seen a lot of things about about the advantages of Flutter. Then next step, what we did was we have done something called installations. Okay, for Flutter, we need Android Studio or you can use IntelliJ. And if you guys are very good, okay, you guys can use VS Code. But the problem with VS Code is you have to download separately the emulator, the tools, all those things you guys have to do it separately. Instead of that, Android Studio, we have done it. So everything give okay, everything is most of the things what you okay are ready made in Android Studio. So that is one advantage with Android Studio. So after that, we went with after Flutter. Okay, after the installations, we went with Dart programming. Okay, we have seen what is Dart programming, and using the Dart programming, we are going to build the Flutter, and we have done something called we have done something called variables. So we have two ways of declaring variables in Flutter. One is the static way, one is the dynamic way. Static way, you have to explicitly tell the system what kind of data type you guys are using. Then we have used something called var. So that is what is called as dynamic declaration, where you declare the value, you give the you initialize the value. Okay, the system will understand based on the value. The system will allocate the memory. So now let us start. Let me give you a brief idea about what is data type. Okay, so what is data type here? Let me give you a brief idea about it. So what exactly is data type? Okay, let me share my screen, guys. Give me a minute. Let me share my screen here. I hope you guys might see my screen. So what is that I'll do is I'll come here, go to new here, and here let us start with something called data type. What is data type here? So yesterday we have seen something called string, something called int. Okay, we given small letters int, all those things we have seen. So basically we have different data types here. We have something called boolean. Okay, we have other data types. I'm not interested right now. I'm not going to go through all the data types. These are the very basic data types what we are going to see. There are many other data types like list and map, all those things. I'm not going to make you confused. Okay, I'm going to make things very simple so that you guys can understand later what we can do it. Okay, so what is this data type? Yesterday we have done something here like this. We have done it here something. Okay, where is my Android Studio? I have done something here. I have given int age is equal to 33, name which is of type string. I have given the name here. I have given all those things here. So this is what is this my name, okay, which is nothing but an identifier which is going to identify the memory location where the value, this is called as a string literal, which I'm storing it here. And what type of variable it is? It is nothing but a string. So why should I tell the system? Here I'm not telling the system here. Can you see here? I'm not telling the system. System will automatically take it based on the value what you have given. So why do I need this to give, guys? Okay, is it important? Okay, then what do you mean the static declaration, dynamic declaration? So basically what happens is, okay, so I see here, what is that I'm going to do is I'm going to give you some things to learn by yourself. Okay, everything, no spoon feeding, guys. Okay, this is how you have to start learning now. So I'll do something. You have to learn by yourself few other things. Okay, this is what is the first thing you have to start learning when you come to the industry. In colleges, you go with the syllabus. Oh, sir, this has not been taught. This syllabus has not been done. This has not been done. No, here I'll do few things. Most of the things you guys have to do it, and that is what is the learning process. Yesterday I told you that I want you to learn. Okay, I want you to learn. How do you learn things? Not okay. You learn the subject. No, I'm not making you learn the subject. I am teaching you how to learn the things to learn. Okay, that is what is my idea. So here I'm going to tell you what is data type. What are the different data types we have? It. You guys go and explore it. Basic data types. What we are going to use it? I'm going to use this data type. Is there any other data types? Yes, we do have many other data types. Like we have list. Okay, we have something called maps. Okay, we have something called maps. We have a lot of other data types. Okay, I'm not going to discuss all this now. No, I'm interested only in this two. I'll tell you Boolean and we'll move it. We'll move ahead with this. So now, what is this? What? Why do we need this data type? Okay, are we going to mention the data type? Okay, are we going to mention the data type in my system? So here the answer is okay. What is the advantage with this data type is here. Okay, here what is that I'm going to do is I am going to instead of int I'm going to write something called number here. So in number, so what is this we have is in number we have something called int. Okay, there are int, float, double. Okay, so what is this, guys? Boolean. Again, we have something called true. Okay, true or false. Okay, or common false. Only two things we have it with Boolean. List all those things we discuss later. Strings we have characters, all those things. Right now, not interested. So what do you mean by data type? First, understand that. Important, very important. I'm going to discuss the same thing here. So, data type is nothing but what kind of data you're trying to store. Here, I'm saying the system. Let me close this up. Confusion. Okay, I'm telling the system. For system, I'm storing a string here. So, what is that I'm telling the system? System, I'm trying to store a string here. So, what is the data type of this? My name is nothing but a string. So, basically, I'm telling the system, dude, please store some memory for this name. Okay, how much of memory? What memory you guys give it to the string? That memory. For example, for a string, you guys store 8 bytes. So, how do I find out? How do I find this? How much memory is getting allocated? Go through the documentation, guys. Okay, for int, how much memory is getting allocated for the int? Okay, I should know that. Go through the documentation. Okay, no need to worry about this. It's not important. What is important here is you should know. Okay, what is data type? Data type is nothing but what kind of data you are trying to store in that variable. That is what is data type. Here I am trying to store a string, so this data type of my name is a string. Here age, what is the data type? It is an integer because I'm trying to store an integer. So basically, internally, the system will allocate a memory for this. So when you say string, it allocates 8 bytes. When you say int, it will allocate 4 bytes. When you say okay, float, it will allocate 6 bytes. When you say double, it will allocate 8 bytes. Okay, this is how what exactly bytes you guys can go and check it out. It is nothing but the memory, how much is it is getting allocated for each data type. That is what I'm telling the system here. So that is what is data type. So data type is nothing but what kind of data I'm trying to store in that variable and how much memory will be allocated to that. But here, I'm not giving him here, right? What data type I'm not giving it here. The system is so smart that it will understand, oh, dude, this is nothing but a set of characters, which means I have to give him a space, memory space of a string. So the system will understand and allocate at the runtime. What you guys are doing, you guys are explicitly telling the system, dude, please store the memory for this, which is of type string. But here, system is very smart guy. He will understand, oh, based on the value, I have to store a string or an integer or a boolean or a number, whatever it is. So these are data types. So this is okay. I want to know more about this data type. What should I do? Okay, very simple. I want to learn more about data type. Is this is what I want you to learn, guys. I don't want you to learn this one here. Okay, how do you learn this? Okay, how do I learn this here? I'll say, okay, this is how I learn data types. This is what I want you to learn. This is very, very important. So you guys have Dart language has special support for following data types, numbers, which comes with int and double, strings. Okay, we have only string characters, boolean, which comes with true and false. Okay, no need to worry about the list parts. List, set, and maps. These are three very important data types what we need to learn, but we'll do it very late. So in this important list and maps are very important. Set is okay. Next priority. Rules is nothing but it is just to display the characters. Okay, we use characters to display some emojis. That's it. Nothing to worry about the rules. So very important for me is these three data types and list and maps. So we'll discuss what are important data types for me. So this is I want to know more about this. You can go to official documentation, but I would not recommend you to go through the official documentation right now. Why? I'm sorry. Why? Official documentation, you guys get all the information about the Dart data types. But once you get all the information, most of the time you will not understand. Okay, most of the information. So instead of that, I would love to go through this. Geeks for Geeks is a nice site. Go through this Geeks for Geeks, and you can see what is data type, what are the different data types. It will give you some examples. I want you to practice this. So this is what is my expectation. So I'm not going to go through the basics. The reason why I'm sorry, why are you not going through the basics? I want you to do it by yourself. The reason is there are a lot of things to be covered. There are very important things to be covered. These are very simple things which you guys can do it by yourself. So if I want to know more about it, go for Geeks for Geeks. This is the best site what I like. Okay, you want to go more depth, more detail, more information, go through this site. Third thing is about after these data types, what we have is we have something called operators. Again, I want to understand these operators. We have different operators. Like what are the different operators? We have something called arithmetic operators. What are these arithmetic operators? Arithmetic operators are nothing but what is that, guys? Okay, like we have something called arithmetic operators. Arithmetic, I'll just write operators here. So what are the other operators here? We have something called plus, comma, minus, comma, asterisk, into, comma, division, comma, mod, comma. There is one more operator here, slash. Okay, this is also like division only. It will divide the numbers, but it will give you the whole number. It doesn't give you the fraction. Okay, mod plus minus into slash mod. Mod means what is this mod? Mod is nothing but when you divide two numbers, the result, okay, you want to get the remainder. So you use the mod operator. Divide, it will divide the two numbers and give you the results. Other operators you guys know about it. So these are the different operators. Ansari, I want to learn these operators. Again, I'll go here. Where is my operators here? Okay, I think it should be here somewhere here, guys. Okay, I think our functions. Oh no, I think. Okay, I think see sometimes it doesn't give you operators. It's so simple things. So if I want to learn operators, dart operators. See, I am trying to skip all this. Why? Why, Ansari? Why you are trying to skip? You should ask me the question. Okay. When you ask me the question, here these things you guys can learn by yourself. So we have different operators, arithmetic operators, like I have already discussed with you. Then we have something called relation operators. What are these relation operators, guys? Relation operators is nothing but when you want. Okay, we are going to see it. We are going to use these operators throughout the programming. So what are the relation operators? Relation operators are nothing but, okay, we have something called, I'll tell you guys, we have something called, okay, first we'll start with this comparison operator. So okay, what is this comparison operator? I want to give you the difference here. Understand this one. This is called as an assignment operator. Can you see this? This equal is called as an assignment operator where I'm trying to assign the value to this variable. Okay. I have one more thing here. I can use, okay, where result equal to, okay, I'll use double equal. I'm going to use it, guys. Don't worry about this. Okay, ID. So this double equal is nothing but what is that I'll do is I'll say where result equal to xyz z, and here I'll say where no, I don't need to use where, I already have defined it. I'll say result equal to ID if I'm going to use if condition later. So this is called as comparison operator. I'm trying to compare two values. One is the RES value with the ID value. This is called as the comparison operator. This is called as an assignment operator. So you should know the difference here. If I use double equal, I'm comparing the two values. If I use single equal, I'm assigning the values to this variable. That is what is you have this thing. You have this relation operators. Then you have something called greater than, less than equal to, less than or greater, okay, less than or equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to. So you just keep, okay, you have to practice this whenever you guys have time. So these are the different operators. These are very important operators. What I'm going to use it with your arithmetic operators. Other operators also are important, but not very important here. Is I want to check whether it is okay. Given Boolean value true or false. Okay, whether is it true or is it false? I can use it for Boolean. Is okay is not. All those things you guys can go through this. Then we have important operator and or, and we have something called not, bitwise not. So these are the other different operators what we have. He has given you the examples. You guys can practice these examples. I'm going to, okay, I'm going to skip these examples. Okay, all these examples I'm going to skip it here. So you guys can practice it whenever you guys have time. Okay. Now after this operators, now comes very important thing. We have something. We have different operators, guys. We have arithmetic operators. We have logical operators. Operators. We have something called assignment operators. Assignment operators. We have something called relation operators. Operators. So we have different operators. So if I want to learn about the operators, I can go and do. I can go and do it with my this thing, guys. Any website. Okay, the good website what I like is Geek for Geeks. We can go and learn from Geek for Geeks. Now comes very important. Okay, thing what we want is we want to know the control flow statements. Control flow statements are very important. So here, what is that I do is I am going to give you the real-time scenarios. Okay, see what happens is most of the trainings, what is done online is they make you understand the concept, but they don't give you the real-time scenarios. Why do we need it? Where do we use it? How do we use it? Okay, so here, what is that I'll do is why is it taking time to load? Okay, let it run here. Now, what is that I'll do is I'm going to use if loop. If loop is a very important control statement. Okay, it's a very important control statement. What we are going to use it. So you guys should be aware of this if loop. We use a lot. There are few loops which we use very frequently. The most thing is if loop and for loop. These are the two very important loops. What we do it. Other loops are there like while loop, do while loop, all those things. We don't use it. I'll tell you the difference, and I'm going to go through this one. So let us see about the if loop. Let me delete this off. So what is if loop? Like if loop is nothing but I want to check the condition. If okay, if you're going to Bangalore, good. Else you're going to Nagpur. So those kind of things I'm going to check. I want to verify. I want to check. In that case, I'm going to use the if loop. For example, I'll say marks. Marks is equal to. For example, I give 77. Some marks I've given. So here I'm going to use var. I can use int, I can use var here. So I'll use var here. Now I'll check student if the student if okay. Okay. So what is that I'll do is I'm going to use if here condition if what is that marks is less than less than 40. If marks is less than 40, I'll say oh, sorry guys, I'm getting confused with Python. Here I'll use colon and here I'll use print. Okay, if the marks is less than 40, the student has failed. Okay, so now if I run this here, what happens? I'll get the student has failed. Okay. Time. Not working. I think there's a problem with my this thing. Let me come to this window. So basically what you guys see here is if marks is less than 40, I'll say print student has failed. So it will display you the student has failed. But what happens if the marks are more, greater than 40? For that, what is that I'll do is else I'll put else here. I'll say open the bracket here. I'll put it here itself. I'll follow the Java conventions here. I'll put here. I'll say print. Okay. I'll say student is passed. Student is okay. This is very simple condition. I can use if loop, and based on this marks, I can say whether it will print this term or you okay. Is the student is failed or student is passed? I want to check the condition. Based on the condition, I want to do something here. This is fine. So what is that I'll do is I'll just copy paste this here. But now there is a problem here. Okay, I am just finding the student is pass or fail. But at the same time, I want to know whether the student has scored excellent or he has done very good or he has done good or he has done average. I want to check that also. I don't want to see failed or okay, pass or failed. Now I'm not interested in seeing only these two outputs. In that case, what is that I'm going to do is I'm going to use this if loop only again. Okay, I'm going to use this if loop again. And here, what is that I'll do is I'm going to, okay, if the student has scored less than 40, he has failed. What happens else if I'll use something called I use something called, I'll give you a second, the system is getting hacked. So basically, I'm going to use something called else if. Okay. So here here this is the advantage of using your. That's getting hanged. Guys, give me 1 second. It's getting hanged. Yeah, now it's not. Else if, okay, and here I have to use a condition. Dude, okay, if the student has scored, okay, if this student has scored more than, okay, like for example, what is that? Okay, I'm going to use else if condition and check whether the student has scored more than 90. I'll say marks more than 90. If you have scored more than 90%, I'll say, okay, student, uh, okay, has scored excellent. I'll say student has scored excellent, something like this, guys. Otherwise, again, I can use something called else if. Else if again, I'll say marks, okay, less than 70, and here also I can say, okay, sorry, marks greater than 70, and I can use this and here. Where is my and? This is my and here, and I'll say marks, okay, less than 90, for example. Then I'll tell dude, okay, you have scored, I'll say less than or equal to 90. One second. Here I use double single ampersand. Okay, double ampersand here. See, this is the problem with the syntax. I use single ampersand with Python. So basically, else if marks is greater than 70, but it is less than 90. Okay, or I'll put it 89. Okay, or on 90 is fine. If I score 90 or less than 90, but it is more than 70, then I'll say print student is good. Student has scored very good marks. Okay. So now what is that happening? Okay. Now you can say else. For example, I keep it. For example, 80. Guys, not very this thing. I'll take it 60 here. Okay. Okay. Else, I'll say else here again. Else, you guys can have multiple statements. Guys, I'll say else here, and here, what is that I'll do is I'll say print student has scored average. Okay. Now, what is that I'll do is, now let me run this here. So based on the marks, if you go to that this thing, I don't know why it's taking. I don't want to waste my time here. I'll use that pad. Okay. Let it run, guys. I don't know if it's taking too much of time, so I don't want to waste my time here. Okay. Yes. Now I got it here. Student has scored very good marks. Okay, because it is falling between, okay, 60 and 80. If I give marks as, okay, 96, now if I run this here, it should say the student has scored excellent. student has scored excellent. So based, see guys, understand this one. So it will come here, it will check this. Oh, dude, it is not there. Then it will come here, it will check else if marks is greater than 90. Yes, it is greater than 90. It will go to this block, and what will happen is it will exit the block. You can see here, I'll say print here, understand this one. Print, okay, I'll say end of the program. End of the program. Okay. So what will happen is it will not go inside any other block once it has encountered this block. Okay. Oh, dude, it is greater than 90. Yes, I have encountered this. This piece of code will get, or this block of code will get executed. After execution, it will immediately exit to this. It will not go to any other block. Even though if there is a matching block also, it won't go inside that. Now, if you run this here, see here, you see only this statement get its thing, and it will go because it is a part, this if and else if is part of only one block. Okay, now it will jump back to this. It will give you the student has scored excellent and end of the program. Okay, this is the important logic what you have to remember. So if you go to this, if the okay, if this if matches in any block, it will go to that block, will get executed and it will exit the block. This is about your else if statement, if else and if else if statement. So I hope you guys have got this one. I know you guys have to practice this to understand much better here. So here I'll put it here. Okay. So else if, okay, now comes a very important block. We call that as a for block. So what is for block? Why do we need for block? So for block is nothing but, for example, I'll give you n number of examples. Guys, it's a very important. I said it's a very important block. So something I want to keep on repeating again and again. I want to do some iterative process. I want to read the data from a file. I want to read the data from a set of variables. All these things I can do through this for loop. Like for example, I want to keep on getting the input from the user, like student name, student ID, student name, student age, student phone number. Again, I want to, okay, again, I'm going to give him, I'm going to ask, I mean, for example, there is an admin guy who's trying to add the data to the file. So in that case, I'm going to ask the admin, do you want to enter one more record? He says yes. If he says yes, again, I'm going to write it down. So that is a task I want you guys to do it, but right now we don't have time for that. So basically, I'll keep on iterating the process. I'm keep on taking the data from the input from the user till the user exit. It says no, I am finished. Till that time, I'll keep on asking the data. For these kind of operations, I'm going to use the for loop. Or I want to read the data, okay, from some data source. I'm going to use this for loop. Okay, so there are n number of places, n number of ways you guys have to use the for loop, and you have to get a hold on this one. So what is that I'll do is I'll show you a very simple for loop. In this for loop, what is that I'm going to do is I'm going to print the numbers here. So what is the syntax of the for loop here? It is the same syntax which you have, which is present in C#, C++, or Java. If you guys are from that background, you guys will understand very easily. So basically, what is this for loop? For loop is nothing but an iterative loop which do iterations. Number of times it is going to repeat itself. Okay, you can give him the number, how many times you want to repeat. So I'll give a for loop, very simple for loop here. And here I'll tell dude, okay, what is that, guys? You're telling the system. Very simple, you're telling the system. What is that you're telling the system? To do some operation. What operation? I'll say dude where I equal to, okay, I'll say 1. So you know what is I? I is nothing but you are trying to initialize a value where I is equal to 1. And what is that you do is I want to keep on iterating the process till I is less than or equal to 10. Till the I reaches 10, I want to keep on iterating. And how do I want to iterate? I want to jump 1 place or 2 place or 3 place. Here I use something called I plus plus. What is I plus plus? Guys, what is I plus plus? I plus plus is nothing but the same thing. I'll say I is equal where A is equal to 10. Okay, and here I'll say where result equal to A plus plus, and I'll say print, print, okay, I'll say result, res. Okay, what is this, guys? It will do. It is same thing. I can write like this also. I can write var res equal to a plus 1. So a plus 1. So what is the result? A plus 1 will give you, okay, 11. So this will give you 11. This also will give you 11. So instead of writing a plus 1, I write a plus plus. So why is it giving a plus plus? Why is it giving 10, guys? It should give 11, right? Okay, it should give 11. Why should give 10? The problem is, it is, okay, here it is a postfix operator here. Okay, what do you mean postfix? This plus plus, okay, first it will take the value of a and it will get stored in the result, then it will do plus plus plus. That is the problem here. So that is the problem. It is giving here this thing here. So basically, what is res? Res is nothing but a plus 1. Okay, now if I write a plus 1, it will do the job. But if I write a plus plus, what is happening is, what is the value of a? 10. 10 is getting stored in the, okay, res. Then it is incrementing it here. So, but internally, how does it work? It works plus a plus 1. So what is that I'll do is, I'll write I plus plus, which is nothing but I will be first, okay. So I'll show you one thing, guys. I'll show you one thing here. So what will happen is, I'll say print I. Okay, what okay, how does it work? It first it comes here, it makes I is equal to 1. Yes, perfect. It's perfect, dude. Then it come and check I is less than 10. Okay. Oh, I is less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. If it is true, it will come here and it will print this I. What is this I? It will print 1. But it will not go to this, guys. Okay, it will come here and see I plus plus. I plus plus, what is I? I is equal to 1. Yes, it is 1 1. But now what it will do is, in my second iteration, it will increment the value I plus 1. So now it is 1. Okay, now it will change it to 1 plus 1 is 2. Now I'll come 2 here. Is I less than 10? I'm sorry, is 2 less than 10? Yes, it is correct. It will enter into this. It keeps on going till I is equal to, okay, 10 is equal to less than equal to 10. Yes, 2. When it becomes 11, it becomes false. It will get outside the loop. This is how it works, guys. So you guys can see here, I'm trying to print the values from 1 to 10. So this is the condition it works. I'm initializing the value. Okay, there is a condition to be checked, and there is something called incrementation. I'm trying to increment the value. You want to write I plus plus or I plus 1, anything is fine. Okay, guys, am I clear with this? So this is how I write the for loop, and we are going to use this for loop, okay, at n number of places, guys. Not one places, use in n number of places this for loop here. Next thing is, there is one more very important loop. What we have got it in Dart. This is present. This is not present in C++ or C sharp. Okay, here I can take. I can, okay. Let me comment. How do I comment multi-line command? Okay, you can select this one. Give Control Shift forward slash. So you can comment this off, minimize this off. So next thing is, I'll come here, and here, what is that I'll do is, I'll use a list. I'll say where my list equal to, how do I define a list? It is nothing but a square bracket. I'll say 4, 5, 6, 44, 20, 33, 22, some numbers here. So what is the list? I'll come to list a bit later. So list is nothing but a collection of variables. So what happens is, instead of you defining like this, where a is equal to 4, okay, then where b is equal to 5, okay, then where c is equal to 6, okay. If you, instead of giving like this, okay, I can define all these things in only one go, and that is what is called as a list. So all these variables will be defined in one go, and if I want to get the variables, again I'm going to iterate this array for I, again I have this, for, open the bracket, for I in my list. Okay, here I have to define where I in my list, and here I'll say print I. So simple, it's very simple. So here, what is that? What is that? This guy will do is in will do is in will go inside this list and try to get each element. So here I don't need to write I is equal to 1, I less than 0, I plus plus, nothing, guys. So this is a very smart guy. You'll understand that, oh dude, I need to go in this list and I'll try to get the elements from the list. So now if I run this here, what will happen is I will go inside this list and try to iterate the elements from the list one by one. So if you want to do it like this, you guys are welcome to do it like this. You want to do it like this, you guys are welcome to do it like this also. So this is how I do iterations through this for loop and if loop, guys. Then there is one more important loop. What we have is we have something called while loop. So what is while loop? While loop is also like a for loop itself, where I am trying to iterate the elements from the list. So what is the big deal? So what is the difference between for loop and while loop? See, like say I'm using this while loop, right? I'll say where I equal to 1, same thing. Okay, here I'll say while, I'll put it in the top, while what is the condition? I less than or equal to 10, and here what is that I'll do is I will say print, I'll say I, and then okay, then I will increment I plus plus. Okay, so now let me comment this off. I'll say control shift forward slash to comment this off. Then I'll minimize this one. Now let me run this one here. So same thing. I is equal to 1, I less than equal to 10, print I. So what is the big difference here? So what is the difference between for loop and while loop? So for loop also I'm printing the numbers from 1 to 10. Here also I'm printing the numbers from 1 to 10. So what is the big deal here? Okay, this is the question what I ask the students whenever I take the interviews. My first question will be, what is the difference between for loop and while loop? Because even for loop, you are taking the condition, you are initializing the value, giving it, but little bit different way you're doing it, but result is the same. I is less than 10, yes, I'm doing it. I'm doing I plus plus, I'm doing I plus plus. I'm printing I here also, I'm printing I here also. Both I'm doing using for loop and while loop. So what is the big deal? I can use for loop only instead of while loop. But there is very important thing here. What thing you need to understand here is, okay, while loop, when we use while loop is when we don't know the number of iterations. Okay, like here I know that, dude, I want to go, okay, how many iterations based on the conditions? I almost like 10 iterations here. Okay, here also I know the iterations like less than 10. So in this case, the best option is use the for loop. But when should I use while loop? So I should use while loop when I don't know the number of iterations. Like example, I'm sorry, give me an example. The example is whenever you try to iterate a database, whenever you try to get the data from the database, you don't know how many records are there in the database. There may be 100, there may be 1,000. So you have to keep on iterating till you reach the end of the database. In that case, you guys use the while loop. Okay, you know how many records are there. Like example here, I know there are only 6 records. In this case, I can use the for loop, or I can use mylist.length. There are different ways of doing it. So basic idea is you use for loop when you know how many number of iterations you have to perform, and you use while loop when you know that, okay, how many, when you don't know the number of iterations. That is the difference between while loop and for loop. So we have one more loop called do while loop. So what is the problem with while loop is, while loop will perform the action here. So what happens if there is a problem here? I want to print this then I want to go through the loop. It is not possible. So in this case, I'm going to use do Okay, and here same thing I'll do here. I'll say print I, print, okay, now number is dollar I, dollar I. So what is that? I want, okay. So what does it do is I'll say while, okay, and here I'll say I less than or equal to 10. And what is that I'm trying to do here is I'll say I plus plus here, I plus plus. So what is that I'm going to do? I'm going to here doing it here is the difference between this and this is this will execute this block of code once, then it will check the condition. Here, while it will check the condition first. If the condition is true, then it will go inside the loop. If the condition is false, it will jump outside the loop. But here, when you say do, what will happen is it will execute, then it will check the condition. So sometimes you may have a requirement that you want to execute this, then you want to check the condition, then you want to proceed. I have done a lot of times we use do also. So while loop, okay, we use it when you try to read a file or read a database or read something from the internet, from the server will receive. So in that cases we use while loop. Okay, a do while loop is nothing but this piece of code will get executed at least once. Okay, and then it will check the conditions. So these are the very important about the loops. You guys have to get used to this one. There is no other option. There is no other shortcut. Guys, am I clear with this? Okay, now give me 1 minute, guys. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay, can you repeat once again when we should use while loop? While loop is used when you don't know the iterations. For example, when you try to iterate, when you try to read the data from a file, you don't know how many characters, how many words are there in the file, but you want to read everything. So in that case, you guys use while loop when you don't know the iteration. When you're trying to get the data from a database, you don't know how many records are there in the database. In that case, we're going to use while loop. But most of the time, we are going to use the for loop. Am I clear, Mohammed Asil? Okay. Is there any other difference between for loop and while loop? I have already given it. Okay, guys, give me 1 minute, guys. Let me have some water. And after that, I'll open the question answer sessions. If you guys have understood, okay, you guys can ask me, but only for 5 minutes, not more than that, guys. Yeah, guys. In our college, we use to do while loop for menu-driven program. See, again, I have told you, Dheeraj. Okay, when sorry, who's this guy? Okay, good. So Devgan. So what happens is there is no hard and fast rule that you have to use while loop for this thing or for loop for this thing. But okay, what will happen is when you use for loop, okay, where you have to give the condition, it's fine. But you don't know how many records are there. Okay, you have to read till the end of the file. In that case, you guys can use while loop. So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to use only for this purpose. But when you don't know the iterations, in that case, you have to use the while loop. Okay, I know the conditions, I know the iterations. Like I want to go through 10 items. I have to use for loop for that. Can I use while loop for that? Yes, you can use while loop, which I have shown you already, shown you the example. We have scan function. Yes. Okay, we have something called input. Okay, we can take the input from the user. We have some scan function. We do have the same thing here. But here, I am not going to use that. Why? Because we are trying to use the emulator as the input. This itself will be a scan for me. Okay, whatever data I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it from this emulator or from the phone. So I don't need a scan for here. So we have a different functions to get the input value. Okay, we use scan for getting the input from a console. Okay, what else, sir? Can you list some real life applications for while? Okay, I said you right. Okay, okay. For loop, when I want to take the input from the user. Okay, like for example, I'll say, okay, user enter your ID. So what is that I'll do is I'll keep on taking the input till I reach 100 records. I can set a limit of 100 records. Till I reach 100 records, I'll keep on taking the data. Or in between I want to leave, I can say that user enter exit to, okay, put the application in between. Yes, you can use it. So basically, if I want to keep on iterating, I can use the for loop. So, for example, I got the data. I want to keep on. I want to keep on reading the data. I can use the for loop. There are n number of real life use cases for this one. Okay, can you? What else? Maya escape. So, what is the difference between less than equal to or okay? So there is no symbol like this, guys. We have less than or equal to, or we have something called, we have only this symbol less than equal to, or we have greater than. Okay, we have greater than equal to. Okay, greater than equal to. Oh, sorry. Okay, or we have like this symbol. These are the only two symbols what we have. No, 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 wait. Okay, or less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. These are the only two symbols what we have with here. This thing with the arithmetic operator. I mean, what is that called? Relation operators. No, smartphone. What happens while loop can solve the infinite problem? No, while loop also has to end. Okay, when you have read your database, when you have read your file, or when you have read the data, you have to finish. In that case, we have to use. Okay, if you don't mention I plus plus here, if you go to the infinite loop, if you keep on going, it will not. Okay, see I is equal to 1, I less than 10. Yes, it is less than 10. Go here. Again, this if you go to the infinite loop, okay, while loop will not solve the problem for this infinite one. So why print is used instead of printf? Okay, printf, we don't have printf here, guys. I will pass here. I'll say print here. So we don't have printf here. Printf, we have it in what is that called, in C. We don't have here printf here. What is the advantage of having for loop, while loop can also do the work for loop? Now, Hirani, I think I have already answered it. You have to again listen to it. Okay, once again explain about list, how to use list. I'm going to use it a bit later. I said very clearly that I'm going to use list later. Okay, in that help you focus the high level calculator. Yes, you can do it. Can we use relation operators in while loops? Yes, relation operators are important. We have been using okay, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, or all these things we can use it. Can you please explain do while loop? Okay, do while loop is nothing but do will execute once, then it will check the condition. While it will check the condition, if the condition is true, then it will execute. But do will execute first, then it will check the condition. Okay. So in the do while loop statement, we are using dollar symbol. Okay, I'm not using dollar symbol. Dollar symbol is used to print, so you have to go back to the old class and take this out. Only in while operator we should use anywhere you can use the relation operators. So once we also again explain about relation. So okay, that programming is not used for quantum and cloud computing. Okay, there are other things we have to use it. That programming, yes, you can use it, but it is not specifically only for this for the cloud computing. So please tell me where we can use the while or for loop to developing one apps. Okay, everywhere we are going to use it. Okay, guys, stop your questions, guys. I think we are done with this now. Okay, in while loop, getting an error when range is more than the number of members present in the list. Then how can we use while loop if the number of iterations to be unknown, sir? So unknown in a sense, you know that okay, when you read a file, at the end of the file, okay, what we'll do is there is a condition that at the end of the file, when you reach the end of the file, you better exit. You get out of the loop. Okay, I don't know how many words are there. I don't know how many this thing there, but I know the condition that it is the end of the loop. Same thing, database also. I'm trying to iterate the records. I know there are okay. I don't know how many records are there, but I know that end of the record. Okay, the last record will be null. If I reach null, exit. So this is how I can make it here. Okay, guys. So let us okay stop questions now. Let us continue. Now, next very important thing is we have something called functions. Very important part of your okay this thing, and this is a little bigger part. So there are a lot of things you need to know about it. If you guys are from some background, it's well and good. Otherwise, I have to go a bit slow here with the functions. So the first thing is why do we need functions? Can I do the job without functions? Yes, I can do the job without functions. Then what is functions? Functions are one of the basic blocks of your programming. Whether you work with any language, any technology, we have something called functions. So functions is like what you guys are doing in your maths, you have some functions, right? It's almost similar. Okay, it's not like that. So okay, it is similar to that, but not exactly like that. So basically, what happens is why do we need the functions here? The very important thing is you guys can already see here, this is a function here. So why do we need it? Why do we need functions? Very important part first. The part is function is used for the, let me come here, it is used for the reusability of the code. So can I do the job without functions? Yes, I can do the job without functions. Then what is the problem? The problem is, see for example, I am trying to do some addition, subtraction, multiplication. Okay, again I have to repeat same. So like I am writing 10 lines of code for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. I need to write same code again and again and again and again. 10 times I want to do it, and I need to write 10 times the code. So 10 times, for example, it is taking 4 lines. 4 into 10, 40 lines. Why should I repeat 40 lines, guys? I can do it in one line of code. Okay, like I write only 4 lines plus one line, I call it. Same thing. Instead of repeating again and again, I'll do it in one line. That is the reason why we use for functions. Okay, what are the important things of function is reusability of the code. Second thing is when you have the code, okay, like you have 4 lines of code which is getting repeated 10 times, which is nothing but 40 lines of code. Your code will look messy. To organize the code, I can say organize. To organize the code better, I use functions. Okay, what else, guys? Okay, these are the main reasons reusability organized. Okay, what happens is if you have lot number of lines, if you make a mistake here, it will becomes very difficult for you to check. But if I write in a function, it makes my life simple. For example, I'll write a simple function here. So what is the name of the function? I'll say, okay, I'll say, see guys, if I don't want to, okay, I'll say void. I'll say something. I'll say first here, playing. Playing is a function. Okay, I write with the okay bracket, and I write a flower bracket. This is a function. This is the piece of code. I'll say print. Okay, welcome. Welcome to what is that? Flutter, and I'll say print. How are you doing? So now, oh sorry guys. Now what is that I want to do is this is a function. So how do I call the function? I call the function. I'll just say playing here, and I call this function like this. Now if I run this here, what will happen is this function will get called, and whatever piece of block of code is there will get executed. I don't need to write this, I don't need to repeat this again and again. And see, my code is very beautiful, organized. Same piece of code is getting repeated. I want to call it once again, I'll say play. Okay, and here again, if I run this here, I'll say twice, I get this part. This piece of this block of code will get executed twice. Okay, well, this is okay. We have only 2 lines. What happens if I have 20 lines of code? 2 lines is fine. If I have 20 lines of code, I have to write 20 times. Okay, I have that 20 lines of code I have to repeat. Okay, like 5 times if I want for 20 into 5 is 100. 100 lines of code I have to write. But I write this two, okay, that 20 lines of code plus I write 1 2 lines, it will get called 5 times. So this is how my code is much easier. This is how I'm repeating the code. This is the reusability of the code. That is the reason why we use function. Okay, I want to reuse the code again and again. I call this as a function. So is this the only thing with the function? There are n number of things. Then what is this void? Void is nothing but I'm telling that dude, when this function is called, okay, this will get executed. And do you want to get any value back? Any result back? No, I don't want anything. In that case, I write void. Okay, I'm saying no. Okay, if you don't write void also, it's fine. Guys, no, okay, no questions. Okay, no raising of hands. No raising of hands, guys. I'll give you time to okay ask you questions here. Stop it. So what is void? Void is nothing but you're telling the system that dude, this function is not returning anything. So I'm saying void. But I have one more function. For example, I'll copy paste this so that you guys don't get confused. Everything is here. I'll share this code with you guys. Okay. This is you want to give a name for this. This is called as okay. Here this is the name of the function. This is the return type. This is something called parameters. So this function okay is called as non-parameterized function. What do you mean non-parameterized function? Then what is parameterized function? Let us see what is parameterized function first. Then what is parameterized function? So parameterized function is nothing but I'll come here. Okay. Okay, I'll just keep it here for now. I'll say void adding numbers. Okay, and here I'll take 2 values here. I'll take int a comma int b, and here open the bracket, and here I'll say var result equal to a plus b, and here I want to print okay print result. Okay, this is called as parameterized function. These are called as parameters of the functions. You guys have to remember these words, or you guys have to do your research or homework. Okay, so here this is called as the return type. I'm not returning anything from this function, so I'll say void. Okay, this is the name of the function, and these are the 2 parameters. Okay, the first parameter is an integer. The second parameter is also integer. And what is that? Now I want to reuse this code. What is that I'll do is, okay, I'll say adding numbers, and I'll say 4 comma 5. Okay, delete this off. Okay, here when I run this one here, what will happen is this 4 and 5 will pass here. Here 4 will go in A, 5 will go as second integer B. Then 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 will be stored in the result, and I'm printing the result here. So here the result gets printed here 9. So you want to comment this off? Okay, I can just comment this off here like this. Okay, so now I can see only this result here. So I want to pass one more number here, adding numbers. I'll say 44 plus 55. Okay, now if I run this here, what will happen is I'll get 4 plus 5 is 9, 44 plus 55 is 99. So this is how I can, this is what is the advantage of reusability of the code. Same code, like here I have only 2 lines. So just imagine what I have if I have 100 lines. I have to repeat all 100 times. So this is called as a parameterized function. So now again I'm going to comment this off. Okay. Now after this, I'm going to show you one more type of function. We have something called, okay, returning a function, returning a value, returning a value. Now, guys, don't get confused. I'm going to stop it here. If you guys are getting confused, it's very important. You have to practice it. It is not a history class, not a geography or economics class. Everything is practical here. You guys have seen it. I'm not using any PPTs. I'm not using anything. I'm doing everything hands-on. Everything hands-on. So here I have a function. I'll say, okay, multiplication, multiply numbers. So here I need to tell him, okay, this is a function, but I need to tell him void, because this function will not return anything. But now I want to return a value. So I want to return a value. In this case, what will be the value of the multiplication of two numbers? It will be an integer. So I'm saying that I want to return an integer value. So this function is going to return an integer value. So I'll say var result equal to, okay, I'll take two values here, int a comma int b, and here I'll say a into b, and here I'll say return result. So what is that, dude? I'm telling that, dude, this function, I'll just minimize this all. So it will be easy for you to understand this. So I'm telling that, dude, this multiply number is going to multiply number and it is going to return an integer here. So now when I call this multiplication here, when I call this multiply number here, what is that? Multiply numbers here. I'll give him 4. Again, I'll give 4, 5 only. 4 into 5 is 20. But if I run this here, okay, you don't see any result, because it is returning you an integer value. Okay, you need to catch that value, or you can print directly, you can print it here. So if I run this here, it will not show any value, but I can print here, print, okay, and here I can directly take this value inside this. Now what will happen is, this multiply numbers will multiply, this 4 into 5 will go here, 4 into 5 is 20, 20 will come into this result. This result I'm sending it to this. So anyone who calls this multiply number will get the result. I'm just printing the result here. So now if I run this here, what it will do is, it will multiply these numbers and print the result. What is the use? N number of use cases for this one. Okay, your answer is 20. You want to capture the value here. Okay, like for example, I'll say var, okay, multiplication result equal to, I'll say multiply numbers. What the hell is going on? Why is it not coming? Why is it not coming here? Multiply. Okay, it's coming here. Multiply numbers. I'll give 11 into 10. Okay, and okay, what is that I'm doing is, here I'm just printing the result. Here I'm catching the result and storing it in a variable here. Now I'll say, I want to say like this, for example, print, okay, multiplication result is dollar mult result. Now if I run this here, you can take the value and you can play with this value. Here you're not playing it, you're just displaying the value. That is the difference of taking the value and playing with the value, or displaying the value. So here you can say multiplication result is 110. Okay, this is what is the reusability report, and you can see here your code looks very nice here. Your code looks very nice here. So this is what is the advantage of using the function, guys. And functions is a very big chapter. I want you to go through this chapter, guys. It's a very, very big chapter. Okay, very important chapter. Okay, we are going to do anything and everything in Flutter with functions. So, okay, now I want to show you one more very nice thing about the function. So very nice thing about the function is, Okay, dude, every time I don't need to write this void. See, if I remove this void, still it works. Okay, if I remove this integer also, don't get confused, guys. Okay, if I remove this integer, this guy is a smart guy. It will give the, okay, based on the result, it knows that it's the value. So if I run this here, there is no change at all. So the very good part of your, I see very good because I've been working with different this thing. Here, the very good part is about that is you don't need to tell him that, dude, you're not okay. You want to tell it, it's well and good. Your wish. Yesterday we have seen about the string and var. Okay, if you remove this word also, it will work. If you add this word also, it will work. There is no problem. But if I want to return the value, I'm telling that yes, I'm going to return some value. But I'm not mentioning it whether it is an integer or a string or a boolean. No, no need to worry. You can do it directly with the cursor. This is one of the beauty of your that what I like a lot. Okay, other languages you have to explicitly like in Python you have to write def. In Kotlin you need to write function. Okay, you have to use the keywords. Okay, in Java you have to write void or you have to write end. Anything you have to write. Okay, this is the problem with Java, all these things. But here it makes your life simple. One more very nice thing. Okay, why is that I'm showing it to you? Because I'll be using it. Okay, if I remove this end, if I remove this end, okay, whether is it going to work? Is it going to work? Yes, it is going to work without any problem. Without any problem, it is going to work. So this is one of the very beauty of my of that. Okay, we have same feature they have copied from Python. Okay, this feature they have copied from Java. Whichever you guys like, you guys can use it. Okay, whichever property you guys want to do it like this, I'll be doing it like this. Don't get confused. If I do it like this, don't get confused. They have copied from Java. This is they have something copied from Python. Okay, this is how they have. Okay, that is what I said. Okay, they have copied a lot of things from Java and Python. Guys, give me 1 minute, guys. 1 minute break. Guys, there is no chat, no chat. I'll give you time to to write the questions. I'm not going to answer these questions now. Yes, we can write code. Yes, we can write it. Yes, all the other languages you guys have to define explicitly. I just wanted to give multiple statements. You can have multiple statements in your function. That is the reason I have shown you with this. Parameter functions has ability to call by value operator overloading. Okay, right now don't get confused. Samantha, you have to hold. Okay, hold on for some time. No, don't get confused with call by value, call by reference, nothing. Okay, everything here in that is called by reference only. There is no call by value. Okay, this is called by reference only. Okay. Let me copy and paste it here so the viewers can understand this question. So whatever you wish, you guys can do it, guys. No problem with that. Now I'll delete everything now. Let me start one more thing I want to show you here. So if you have understood the functions, okay, you guys have to practice. There is no other option. There is no other shortcut. There is no other shortcut. You guys have to practice. The reason is we use a lot of functions, guys. So we have one more function here. I'll use a very traditional way. Or I'll use get data, guys. Get data. So if I write like this, it becomes a function. I don't need to tell him what is the return type, all those things. But here I can tell him that string, okay, name, which is of type name, and I'll say int, which is of type age. So I'm taking two parameters. It's a parameterized. You don't want to give it, it's fine. If you want to give it, it's fine. But here you give it, guys. So here, what is that I'll do is I'll say print. This is something you guys may do. My name is dollar name. Okay, and my age is dollar age. See here, guys. Okay, and what is that I'll do is I'll say here get data, and here I'll pass my name Ansari here and age as 44. Okay, now what is that I'll do is I'll run this one. Okay, I just run this one here. What is that I'm passing Ansari here? Ansari will go here name, age will go as 44, and it will say my name is Ansari and my age is 44. This is fine. This is perfectly fine. Okay, my name is Ansari and my age is 44. But here I have one more thing, guys. By mistake, I have given him, okay, I'll say get data, and here I'll say only, okay, ENS, okay, and age, I didn't give age here. So see here, what it will do? It will throw me an error here, compile error. Oh, dude, two position arguments are expected in get data, but found only one. Dude, you have to pass two arguments. So here one more terminology I'm going to introduce. These are called as parameters. This string name and age are called parameters. The value which you pass from here are called as arguments. So it's saying that dude, okay, here we are expecting you to pass two arguments. You have passed only one argument. That is the error. You keep your mouse over here. It tell you two positional arguments expected for get data, but found only one. Okay, you're giving a problem error here. So by mistake, this is fine, guys. This I can see it and I do it. What happens if it is coming from the internal system? Okay, there are a lot of classes and functions present in my libraries. I said about SDK. SDK is nothing but, okay, we have libraries in that. Libraries is nothing but a collection of classes and functions. And each functions may have different parameters. So when I do it like this, it will be a problem for me. So in this case, what is that I'll do is, here, I'll do one thing, guys. Here, what is that I'll do is, I am going to put, for example, if age is optional, I am going to put like this. Okay. Okay, I think I will put a question mark here. Why is it giving here? Okay, I can put a question mark here. My wish question mark, you know that now yesterday I have already explained to you. So here, when I put this in the bracket, it's saying that due, this can be a null value. Now, if I run this here, see here, my error has gone. There is no error, which means this is called as an optional parameter. See, this is optional parameter. When I add that in the bracket, now it says that my name is Ansari and my age is null. You can give any age. It doesn't, okay, it doesn't make any difference. So this becomes an optional parameter. This is what is an optional parameter. But okay, but here I don't want this null to be shown here. So here, can I give it like this? I'll give this as 100. Okay, now you run this here. See here, guys, see the difference here. See the difference here. Okay. So, guys, okay, I'll just hold on for this now. I'll just copy paste this one for you guys. This is called as an optional parameter. Optional parameter function. Okay, this is an optional parameter function. Let me read this one. Okay, this is enough for you. Optional parameter. This becomes an optional. If you give it, well and good, it is going to take it here. It is going to take it here, well and good. If you don't give it, okay, what it will do is, okay, it will set this value to the string, but this is an option parameter. What it will do is, it will give you null. So that is the reason I have given the question mark. It can be also a null value. So here you see it is giving you a null value. So this is the advantage of using this optional parameter. So sometimes, no, dude, I don't want to get null. I want to give some value. So here I can use something called default default parameter. So if I give age is equal to 100, some very blur value. Now what happens if I run here? So what it will do is it will take the default age. So it will take the default age because I'm not passing age here. If I pass age here, it will take this age. If I don't pass age here, it will take the default value. So this is called as a default parameter. See, here I'm passing age, well and good, it's taking 44. What happens if I give my name is Ansari, and my age is, okay, I'm not passing age here, or I'll say Ravi here. I'm not passing anything age here. So for Ravi, so what happens is it will take the default parameter. This is how I define the default parameter. This is very handy, very useful. Okay, now let me copy paste this one. This is called as a default parameter. Say my name is Ravi and my age is 100 because I have not defined the age for Ravi, so it will take the default value. If I have defined the age for Ansari, so it will take this value instead of default value. That is what it's showing you. Now after this, I'm going to have one more option. But here I have a small problem. Let me show you one more problem. Okay, by mistake. Okay, let me remove this one. I'll say get data, and here I'll say, okay, give me 1 second, please. By mistake, I've done 55, 555, and I'll say it will throw me an error. Dude, what is the error? The argument type is integer, can't be assigned to a parameter type string. Dude, it is expecting you to return, give me a string. Okay, or what is that I'll do is, okay, this is the error, you guys know it. So, but the problem is, I'll have one more parameter. Okay, I'll have one more parameter, string city. Okay, I can give city here. I'll give this. Okay, I'll give string city here. Now I'll give here ABC. Okay, and here I'll give, okay, I'll give instead of the city, I'll give Bangalore. And here I will give my mistake, I'll give Ravi. So now if I run this here, I'll say my name is and age is, okay, and I'll say and city is $city. See, now if I run this here, see what is the problem here, guys? You want to remove this, I'll remove this one. Okay, you should not get confused. Okay, I'll just remove this one. So don't get confused. So here the problem is now if I run this here, it says that my name is, it takes the first parameter Bangalore. Okay, it is in position 1. So let me remove this one. Okay, now you guys can see here, I have given Bangalore here. So Bangalore will come and stay in this name, and I have given Ravi. Ravi will come and come into the city. So it is based on the position. The first position is name. The second position is city. But I'm by mistake I've given like this. So it says that my name is Bangalore and my city is Ravi. This is the problem, dude. This is the problem. To avoid this problem, what we can do is we can give him the name like this. Name. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. position arguments I can pass it here, right? I can pass based on position, I can pass it here. No, the way is being error here. Okay, I have to write required here, please. Okay, I have to write required here, then I have to write it here. So I have to write required. Okay, I think I have to take this in a bracket. Okay, this is a problem, guys. Okay, if I'm not in touch with this, okay, we do it the same thing in Kotlin. Okay, they have copied from Kotlin here. Okay, what is the error? Okay, add the required keyword. Okay, now get data. Okay, now see guys. Okay, sometimes I don't remember the position. The first position, if I don't remember, what I can do is I can give the name as Bangalore city. Okay, now what is that I'll do? Now I know that. Okay, what is that I'll do is I'll take the name here. Okay, I can give it here name here. This is my name and this is my city. So I can give it in any position. I don't require it. So what you do is you put your elements in the flower bracket and give required. So what happens, the advantage is you can give in any position. You don't need to follow the sequence. Okay, and you want to have, like, for example, I'll say comma required. Okay, I'll say country. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'll give string country. So here I can give him country here. Country which is of type India. So here the position doesn't matter. Okay, I'm giving country as the last position, I'm giving as first because I'm explicitly defining that this is country, this is city, and this is name, and these are the parameters. It will automatically go and sit with this names here. This is one of the great advantage what we have with Dart. Okay, so this is called as positional parameter. Okay, based on the, okay, we are not confined to the position first, second, or third. We can give it in any position. This is also a big advantage with your, what is that called, with your Dart. So what we have seen is we have seen something called optional parameter. Okay, if I give it in square bracket, it is an optional. Whether you want to give it or not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't this thing. Then we have something called default parameters. We can assign some value to this. If you pass the value, well and good, it will take. If you don't pass the value, it will take the default value. And also we have seen something called position parameter. Based on the position, I don't need to remember that first parameter is a name, second parameter is a city, third parameter is a country. I don't need to remember. But I know that these are the parameters what I have with this function. In that case, I can give directly the name of the parameter and give the value for that. These are the advantages of using the vector files. So, okay, and one more last thing. I want to show you one more thing here. I hope you guys don't get confused. You have to practice it. There is no other option. Okay, without that, you guys can't get it. Like for example, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this in my code, so that is the reason I'm showing it to you. Otherwise, we are done with this very simple functions. So here, for example, I know that adding numbers I have put it in this, and here also I can take a comma b, and here what is that I can do is I open the bracket, come here, and here directly I can return. I can do it like this: a plus b. Okay, and here I can take this adding numbers. I can take where result is equal to adding numbers, and here I'll give 4 comma, okay, 3, and here what is that I'll do is Okay, and I can print this print arrays. This is what I'm doing it here. Okay, but one thing that you guys noticed here, I have to write the name, I have to take the parameters, I have to write the return, I have to write the flower bracket, all those things I have to return. But I have only one statement. Why should I write everything? Such a big thing. For only one, okay, just for one statement, why should I write so many things? What I can do is, here, I don't need to write the numbers. I can take A, comma, B, and here I can use something called fat arrow. Equal and greater symbol equal to, here I can say, what is that? Nice. Okay. I think I have to give a name to this. Okay. I will say hmm, add add. I will say two parameters a comma b, and instead of writing all flower bracket all those things single line, if it is a single line, you can write a plus b. This is what is called as fat arrow. This is called as fat arrow function. What is this fat arrow function? So instead of returning return and writing the flower bracket, everything, what I can do is I can just write this fat arrow. I can avoid all this one. This is what you guys can see in many examples in online. So you should know what is this fat arrow. Fat arrow, you guys have the same thing, almost the same thing in React Native, Angular, other languages also have the same thing. So here I just wanted to show you that if there is only one statement, okay, and you want to return this statement, instead of writing this flower bracket all those things, you can write in this, okay, fat arrow function. Okay, so what is what I'll do is I'll copy this one, and can I copy it here in the chat? So what is that I'll do is I'm going to give you 10 minutes, guys. No, no questions. Guys, 10, 15 minutes. I'll give you 10 minutes or 15 minutes. No questions in that. I want you to go through this. I don't think so. You have enough time to practice this. Don't practice, just go through this. And after that, you guys can start shooting the questions. I'll give you 10 minutes of time. Go through the content. I have shared the content with you. Go through this, understand this, and let me know if you guys have any issues with that. Okay, now the time is 20:37 exactly. We'll give you 13 minutes. 20:50. I'm going to come back. Sir, when will you send the notepad notes? I have already sent you the notes, dude. Aishwarya, I have already sent you the notes in the chat. It is there in the chat. It's here.
Ansari, please send that notes again because I can't able to see that.
Give me one second. Give me one second.
Yeah.
Guys, I said no questions. Okay, you guys need to understand. Okay, I'm very this thing. When I say something, you guys have to very carefully understand. If you guys are not concentrating, then you guys will follow your own pattern. No, I said I'm okay. No questions for next 10 minutes. I want you to go through these notes, and then you can start shooting the questions. Guys, make sense? Go ahead, guys. Next 10-15 minutes, no questions, guys. No questions. Don't type anything. Go through the code. I have sent you the code. Okay, understand the code. Then you can ask me questions one by one. Okay, I think we'll take 2 more minutes, then we start question answer session. Yeah, guys, let's start the question answer session, guys. Go ahead. Shoot the question one by one. Slowly, guys. Sir, can I use guys, you have to be slow. Hold on. Let me answer one by one. Sir, can I use Eclipse for an alternative on Studio? Yes, you can use Eclipse. But again, the problem is you have to create your emulator, you have to create your plugins, you have to do all this stuff by yourself. It will be very difficult. Okay, sir, will you please explain again about returning a value? So I understand this simple thing. So when I have a function, okay, function can return something or will not return anything. So here, when I do the calculations, if you see here carefully in my code, okay, when I do the calculations here, so here, let me open the notepad here. When I do the calculations, I want to return some value. So in that case, I have to use return value. So when you call the function, if this function will give you some value, like for example, I'm calling Sumaya. Sumaya, okay, I want you to do some job. After she does the job, okay, what is that I do? What is that I do is I am expecting something from Sumaya. So she is going to return me something. That is what is written. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to do the job and I'll just keep it here itself. Okay, you call me, I'll do this job and do it. I'm not going to give you anything. In that case, I use void. So I'm not expecting anything to be written from the function. Okay, that is how. Okay, once again, can we use import keyword to import the function from one dot file to the other? No, not the function. You can import the entire dot file. I'll show you import. Okay, once we start working with the Flutter, in which application I have to execute all this. So you can, okay, right now if you have not installed Android Studio, you have to do it on that pad, but I would recommend you to do it on Android Studio. Explain about the difference between optional parameter and default parameter. Optional parameter is nothing but whether you want to pass the parameter or not, your wish. You give a square bracket, then that becomes an optional parameter. Default parameter is nothing but, okay, if you don't pass the, okay, see what happens is, if it's an optional parameter, if you don't pass the value, it's perfectly fine because it is an optional. But by default, the value will be null. You see null. But on the other hand, if you have a default parameter, so if you have a default parameter, what will happen is when you pass the value, okay, if you don't pass the value, it will take the default value. For optional parameter, it will take the null value. That is the difference. Okay. Sir, you have used dollar for variable sometimes and printing statement is necessary. So again, I think Devran, you have to check your yesterday's code. Dollar is used to print the variables directly in the print statement. Otherwise, I have to use the concatenation. Okay, don't ask these questions. You have to do your homework, Devran. Okay, sir, I have enrolled for the full stack web development course. I'm not okay. See, again, I'm going to answer only technical questions, guys. Sir, again, explain fat arrow. Okay, fat arrow is nothing but what happens is, like for example, here in this function, I'm writing a flower bracket. I need to write a return statement. I'm returning a plus b. So why should I do all this lighting Flutter bracket? Because I know there is only one statement I have to return. So I'm going to use this arrow function and give this a plus b. It will by default automatically return this a plus b, where I don't need to write this return statement, neither I need to write this flower bracket. That is the advantage of using the fat arrow. Okay, sir, I have run for okay, this arrow function is over. Can you explain the fat arrow function? Same question. Good. Okay, sir, I have laptop with 4 GB. No, dude, it's not sufficient. Why, Bob? It's not sufficient. 4 GB is not sufficient. Yeah, guys, next. 8 GB, minimum 8 GB, or you have to have 60 GB. You may have the recording, Aishwarya. See, very simple. Hold on, guys, hold on. Sai, Mohan Sai. What you do is I have given you the okay things to how to learn. Go for geeks and learn from there. Okay, it will be much easier for you to learn. Okay, what is functions? What are the different type of functions? What are loops? Different loops. We are using Android Studio now. Yes, Ashura, we are using Android Studio. So why I'm using Android Studio? Because I want to do Flutter in Android Studio only. Yeah, guys, next. Come on, start shooting questions. Once again, send me the document for day 2. Okay, Sandeep, I have already shared in the group. You can take it from there. Yeah, guys, next question. And that we are learning that. Yes, because I want to use the same this thing for Dart as well as for Flutter. Sir, I joined class today. I am unable to understand. Sir, can you please get to know where I can get the previous class recording so that I can provide? Okay, I'm not. I don't know Apurva. There is a guy by name Amar here. You can talk to them. Okay, or they might have given you the link. There you can find the recording. Yesterday they showed you that there is something called LMS. You can ask one of your friend. Okay, you might have the login for that username and password. Log into that LMS. There you have the recording. You can go through that. Yeah, okay, one second, guys. Why, how do you build programming logic? Programming logic is something you have to learn. It comes with experience and okay, it comes with your practice. Notes I've shared in the chat notes. A plus B is I'm adding two values and returning the value. I've shown you already, I've explained that. That is a good starting point for software engineering. Okay, yeah, it's a hot cake in the market now. Okay, there's a hot cake in the market. You can work on that. Is it work with Android Studio in MacBook Airtel? Yes, MacBook will be very good. Dart is equal to JS plus Python mixture. Okay, I'm saying from my side, it's not official. Okay, Aishwarya, I'm saying from my side, it is not official. So how do we get materials? Okay, material, I have shared you the notes, I have shared it to you. Recordings, you have to log into your LMS. You have in the recordings, Shalini, Shenaz. So we record notes to produce. I've already given it to Shenaz. Yeah, I think there are okay. Some of you guys are feeling that, some of you are not feeling it. So there's some problem with your systems also. You guys can check that. Okay, mic. I have been using mic. There's some problem, so I have removed the mic. I'm using the laptop mic. Okay. So if you guys are end with the questions, so I'm going to give you a small suggestion. See, this is what I'm going to guys. I'm going to give it to you. I'm not going to. Okay. See, yeah, again, I'm going to repeat the same thing. You can learn from YouTube. You can learn from Udemy. You can learn from n number of sites. So what is that? I'm going to do it. I'm going to make things easier for you. Okay. So this is a very good future you have with Flutter. There is a very good demand in the market, and it is going to be there for next few years. So there is no going, there is no getting outdated. No. For next few years, you have Flutter. Flutter is for mobile, web, desktop applications. You can use Flutter. Can we take all parameters as option parameters? Your wish. Yes, you can do it. I'm not. I didn't get you. Which is the most important .NET code? .NET code in development. I don't know. I'm not able to understand the question. Okay, Shalini, I think you were not there in the previous class. I don't like this thing. Yesterday I told you, yeah. Okay, I'm speaking to everyone, not only to one or two persons. So you need to understand. Don't go by the salary. Salary will come behind you. Okay, you work on the technology. You get expert in that. Okay, the salary and job will come behind you. You don't need to earn behind them. Yes, sir, you can leave, sir. So I said about the salary yesterday I discussed. I said the salaries I have seen from 3 lakhs to 20 lakhs I have seen. Okay. Now, who gets 3 lakhs, who gets 20 lakhs? Again, you guys have to take a call on that. For a software engineer, minimum 3 lakhs. I have seen freshers with 20 lakh salary also. Can expect 3 lakhs, minimum 3 lakhs. Okay, guys, you want to leave it, you can leave it, guys. No problem. Any other questions you guys have it, you guys can answer it. Can we give required with optional parameter? Yes, we can give it. No, 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 no. Required is the okay. We can't give it with the optional parameter. Required is something which is compulsory. You have to give it. Optional is you have an option whether you want to give it or not. It's fine. But when you give required, you have to give it compulsory. Hey, I'm sorry. Today is my first day of class and I'm this session be good. Like it's good if I attend. Yes, as per this thing, you guys will get a certificate at the end of the training. Okay, don't worry about the certificate, guys. Don't worry about the job certificate. No, you work on your skills. Jobs, certificate, money, everything will come behind you. What should I download? That SDK and plus. No, you download Flutter SDK. That should be enough. That Flutter SDK will have Dart SDK with that. i3 4th gen it should work, dude. And okay, I have seen. Okay, Android Studio work with i3 4th generation. It should work, but at least have some good RAM. Okay, yeah. If you want to concentrate, there are very two hot domains. There are many other domains also, but two hot domains is one is the mobile application which you can use with Flutter or React Native, and other thing is your AIML. Okay, work on this mobile applications only. It's very hot. You know that mobile application. Each and everyone has mobile application. So thanks for the session. This is helpful. You know, iOS development. I'm sure learning Flutter will give boost. Yes, you build an application you can deploy on iOS as well as on Android. No, you have, okay. I want you to download Android Studio and get ready. Maybe after, okay, next week onwards, we are going to start Flutter. So we have to, okay, so you need Android Studio. Till it becomes compulsory. Now, for today and tomorrow also, you can use that pack. I think Mohammed Yunus should work. Seven processor should work, but it I don't know because because I've not used that. It will be difficult only Yunus. See if you can arrange. So if you can arrange laptop from somewhere, it will be a very good idea. So you have to practice because what happens is if it takes too much of time, you start losing interest in that. So I would recommend you to have a good PC. Celeron will help you, but not up to a large extent. You okay? You can check my chat for software coding, downloading everything. You have the recordings. You can go through the recordings actually. No, Code Audio will not help you out, Arya. Lakshmi, you can look at my notes, and if you guys have still have any problems, I can help you out tomorrow. Lakshmi, you just go through my recording yesterday, what we have done. You guys have any issues, any problems with that? I can help you out once again. No problem with that. Okay, we don't have very complicated installations. Download Android Studio, install Android Studio. Rest of the things are very simple. Perfect, Aishwarya. If Android Studio is done, it's very simple. I can show you tomorrow how do we do it, other stuff. Okay, you guys don't have any questions? So we call the day. Okay, so tomorrow, inshallah, we're going to meet up and we'll continue from the same place where we have left. So maybe one or two more classes. I'll just try to wind up this. Tomorrow, I'll start with classes and objects, important part. Okay, then after that, I'll do some asynchronous programming, all this simple stuff. Then from next week onwards, we'll start with Flutter. Inshallah, we're going to start with Flutter from next week onwards. It will be very, very interesting. You have to take my words. You will enjoy it. Okay, you just practice this. This is very, very dull topic, dark, but we have to use this language to develop that this thing. Once you start working with Flutter, you will really enjoy it. Okay, guys. Any other questions you have? Any questions you have? I'll be here for next few minutes. You can ask. Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks for your time. Good night. Bye.
Thank you, Ansari. Thank you for your class. Guys, hope you enjoy the session. Please, any queries, let me know in the chat box. And sorry for the interaction of that notes. I will share in Drive again and I will upload in LMS also. Please take it from there, okay? YouTube people having issues in notes. Yes, I will send in LMS and again in Drive also tomorrow. Okay? No need to take any tension. today's notes I am going to upload in LMS. Please take from there. I'm sharing the attendance link. Please make sure your attendance. Okay. And is there any queries regarding registration, LMS? Any queries? Please let me know in the chat box. I think there is no more questions. Nikhil, ma'am, what is LMS? LMS is a learning management system. It's a ExcelR e-learning portal. So you will get all the stuffs like recordings, materials, and whatever PPTs notes. So you have to register for that. Nikhil, you didn't attended yesterday class. If you attend means you will get to know it yesterday only. How can I access it? Drop an email to edl@excelr.com. So my team will help you on that. I'm sharing that mail ID also. For registration, whether we must pay. No, it's for free. For LMS access, you have to register. That's it. In YouTube, this is my first. How can I register? Guys, wait a minute. I will send that register form, okay? I sent one register form. So please fill that and my team will give the LMS access. So you will get a mail. After that, you will get to know like where you will get recordings materials. Malleshwaram, ma'am, how can I take data from user? Is there any input statement for it to take? This question for Ansari, I think. Tejas, when did Advanced Excel, Power BI, and Tableau certificate will be given? Next week. We'll send we'll send it soon, Tejas. And maybe next week we'll going to send that, okay? Srinivas, I did have my attendance in ExcelR. Is that okay, madam? Yes. Means in ExcelR means you have to fill this for this class you have to fill this form. This Google form you have to fill. Biswam Mohan, can someone register for this course now? Yes, you can. Nikita, ma'am, I didn't get any note PDF. Don't worry about PDF notes. I will send in LMS and drive also tomorrow class. Okay, no need to take any worries. Kartikeya, I forgot to attend last class whether I'm eligible for getting certificate. Kartikeya, this is the 30 hours program means 15 days. Um, you will get like you have to get like 60% attendance. Means maximum 9 days attendance is required for you. So one day is not getting effect on your certificate. Sumona ma'am, can we leave now? Yes, like you don't have any queries, questions, you can leave, no issue. Shabir, is certificate free of cost? Yes, it's absolutely free of cost. समृद्धि मैम बिजनेस एनालिटिक्स कोर्स किया है सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिला ड्रॉप एन email to edl at excelr.com. Okay, they will check your attendance and they will let you know. Azhar Khan, I joined late but I did not get the attendance link. I shared now also. I'm sharing now. Fill the attendance. So how can I download class notes? Through LMS. Maheshwaram, madam, during coding some errors are generated. Can I share debugs with you? Yes, with the tomorrow class or further classes, you have any doubt, please share with Ansari. He will definitely answer your questions, doubts. Nikita ma'am, I'm attending the classes in YouTube. Why I'm not able to join Telegram? Because we are conducting classes in Zoom, so it will reflect to the live in Zoom. Sorry, YouTube. That's why there is no live in Telegram. Monisha, if I fill the feedback, will my attendance be marked, ma'am? Cause I joined little bit late. It's okay, no issue. It will take. It will consider. Maleshwaram, madam, at the end of this classes, I can able to make my own apps. Like I am not sure, but I can assure you that you will get one idea like how what is the process and how we can make that. Okay, no need to take tension. Just follow on study briefly in this. Definitely will get. So, guys, there is no more questions. So, we'll wind up the session for today. Thanks for joining. We'll meet you on the same time, same place tomorrow. Up to then, take care. Be hydrated. Bye bye. Good night. Guys, any LMS access queries, drop an email to edl at excelr.com. Okay. Kirtana, ma'am, can I get certificate at end of the session? Yes, Kirtana. After completing this program, within working 7 days, you will get that. Yes, Anusha, I'm sharing that mail ID, EDL at ExcelR.com. Is there any queries, questions? Please drop an email to this mail ID so my team will connect with you. Arun Kumar, ma'am, at by 8:30 only, or else at the end of the session, I need to fill up my attendance form. Attendance form will be open at 8:30 to 9:30. So between this, you can at any time you can fill this form. Shweta, is it okay to attend classes from YouTube also, or should I attend from Zoom classes app? No, no need. You can attend both, like Zoom, YouTube, both are same. No, no issue. Ma'am, can I leave Sagar? Yes, you can. Saturday, Sunday off or not. This program is going on weekdays, not weekends. So Monday to Friday it will be going on. Swati, I missed FDP today. Could I get certificate yesterday? I didn't get the attendance link. No issue, but make sure tomorrow onwards just attend that class. Attendance, I'm sharing again. From YouTube, Dev. Hi, madam, class time. Class is starting like 7 o'clock, 7 to 9:30 or 9. For 4 days, we are conducting up to 9:30. Remaining days up to 9, 7 to 9. Prachi, ma'am, I can give attendance in between lectures. Should I give again? 8:30 to between 8:30 to 9:30 you have to give. Pavani, ma'am, how many days will be this program? This is a 15 days program, means 30 hours. Aparna, ma'am, yesterday I didn't feel the attendance sheet. No issue. For the classes, don't miss it. Up to 10th November. Yes, not 10th November. Let me check once. We have a session on 11th also, up to 11th. Shweta, it is okay to attend classes from YouTube Live. Yes, you can attend like that also. So guys, we'll wind up the session for today. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Ma'am, do you have any exam at the last of the program? Yes. At the last day, we have a assessment. 50 MCQ with 100 marks. Okay. Based on the what we studied here in the classes, based on the subject only, we will get the questions. So be prepared on this subject. So you will get feedback form. Now only I sent. Nikita ma'am, Zoom ID to attend the classes from tomorrow. If you have a LMS access, so you can come through that LMS. Certificate on the basis of attendance or MCQ. For assessment is different certificate. For attendance is different certificate. Okay. I will explain the assessment before like further. Okay. No need to tension about this. Okay. First, just concentrate on the subject and that lessons. Okay. No need to take tension on MCQ. I will explain clearly. Maleshwaram, madam, I was absent yesterday, so could you please recap major topics of yesterday, madam, please? Maleshwaram, you will get the recording video sessions in the LMS, so you can get from there. So see from there. Yes, there is no more question. We'll wind up the session for today. Thank you so much for joining.